Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to ASMR Tea with Lulu. So, let me just, because I want it here, but I don't want it like, there we go. Is it cool? Perfect. So I had recorded a whole video before this one, but I just set up the lighting and I'm like, oh man, lighting makes a huge difference on the clarity of the video. So we went ahead and left that one out. It's not going to be on the new one, and in that one I actually recalled I was gonna edit it and add it to this one, but basically what's happening, also in the last one, I oiled my scalp. We did a whole thing, but that's okay because the purpose of this video is to inspire, to create, to being yourself. Something I was sharing on my last video is I am doing a lot of new things these days, mostly because a lot of my life, like most adults, I had a plan, I had some goals, I had these, I wouldn't even say dreams, I just had these beliefs of certain things that I felt like if I didn't do them, then I wasn't meeting up to the standards of being a good adult human being, or a good parent, or a good daughter, or a good girlfriend, partner, and all of those beliefs and standards have been slowly but surely, actually it wasn't slow, it wasn't slow at all, these past few months. So in the last video I had the windows closed, but I opted to just open them because it was too hot in here. My mom brought this from Mexico on her little trip they just came from. Also, one of the things I was sharing, I feel like I'm sharing off my last video, the first one, is that I love, me and my daughter love ASMR. Ray taught us about it. Part of my new crisis was I gave myself some bangs, but I don't show them off too much because I wouldn't say I've been in a funk. I mean, I could say that, but I think I'd like to call it I've been in a transitioning stage of my life, because for the first time ever, I'm doing things that feel good to me. It hasn't exactly resulted in that happiest time of my life, but what I'm trying not to do is measure, compare, and just trust that this discomfort or this uncertainty is part of my process, is part of what I'm preparing myself to create this new life of freedom, of happiness, of making choices that feel good to me. It's funny because I have the tattoo chosen creator, and this channel is is gonna be me sharing my stories freely. Kind of like video blogging that I used to do back in the day. But ASMR style, because I'm obsessed with ASMR. Or at least I've just always wanted to just do it, you know? It's one of the things that helps me relax and calm down. And if I could create that environment for anyone else, I would say I'm winning at life. Also, my desire is that through my example of accepting where I am in life and accepting that there's nothing wrong with completely doing something different at whatever age we are. Because simply because you want to, simply because it makes you happy, simply because you're following your highest excitement. And like I said, these choices have created a series of all kinds of feelings, but it's also creating a strength within me of acceptance of myself and a higher level of grace and compassion for myself. Earlier today, I didn't wake up, or more so, I woke up in good spirits. But as I continued to think about my day and a decision I made yesterday, of course, you start to question. You start to kind of doubt yourself. And these things, they're completely natural. But they're also optional. I could spend my whole day just dwelling or sad or upset, and it's what a system I've been creating for myself lately is holding space to nurture myself, to create through these feelings, to create through these uncertainties. So, life updates. And also, if you're out there and you're watching this, and you too have been feeling a little uncertain about life, and feeling like you should be doing more, like you should be further in your life, in your career, in your finances, I'm here to tell you, the more you stay on that belief, the more you keep yourself in that belief, and the more you keep creating the same thing. Now, I might not have millions in my bank account to teach you how to have millions, but I do want to show you that no matter what, I'm gonna hold a smile, and I'm gonna hold my head up, and I'm gonna show the world that it's okay to be exactly where you are. On the last video I was sharing that we often wear these masks so that people can accept us, so that we may be liked, so that we can find some sort of common ground with other people. The only part of us that is real, and that's actually a part of everyone else, is the part that doesn't have a face. It's the part that doesn't need the mask. It's the part that sees perfection in every creation. Anyway, that like I'm super sad or disappointed, in the sense that like I know I'm being prepared. I know that what I'm experiencing is this season of newness, and I know that the discomfort is only temporary because it's me getting into a new flow of something I've never done before. I've never showed myself crying on screen. I've never 100% spoken my truth. I've never even just admitted that even though you see me happy and jolly at festivals, or when you see me in the street and you get a greeting from me, because I do love strangers, that there's also the sides of me that like still trying to figure it out, still trying to, not trying, but still learning about learning. Still haven't 100% committed to some sort of career, or 100% committed to some style of education. What I am committing though to now 100% is feeling better, is not caring what other people think about me, is silencing the voices that are expecting more from me, or that tell me I should be doing more, or that for whatever reason judge me for who I am. And through sharing, showing whoever watches that whoever you are in this moment, as weird as you can be, it's different and unique. God makes no mistake, so you don't make them either. We're supposed to experience things. We're supposed to go through challenges. We're supposed to fuck shit up. We're supposed to laugh and cry at the same time if we need to. But it looks different for everyone. And this is me sharing my version of it. Sharing that hair brushing ASMR puts me to sleep. I think I was gonna get a life update and I went on about other things, but so I'm in my second semester back at school, and I am currently wanting to study. There's a few things I want to experience. So I want to experience midwifery. I want to deliver a baby. Or scratch that. I want to assist in a beautiful goddess opening her portal to bring a baby in. You know, there's all these beautiful ways of doing it now, and we're not reverting back to the old ways. I would say we are creating a new relationship with birthing. There's nothing wrong with anything, you guys. The way people choose to do things, the way they've been doing them, there's nothing wrong. The beauty of creating is there's always more, there's always new, and there's always evolution and change and growth. That's inevitable. That's a constant. Stuffy. But I've become enamored with the way people are doing it these days, where they're at home and they're having these home births, and the stories I've read on it, and the experiences they experience like these DMT experiences, or like life and death scenarios where you're faced with life and death and you're in this whole different dimension as you're giving birth. And if you know me, you know I'm a psychonaut, and I love dead people, but I also love like the esoteric, the unknown. I love the spirit world. It's one of my favorite things about life. That this human you see is just a temporary thing, but the eternal part of me is the coolest part of all of us. Anyway, I digress. ASMR. Okay, so I want to do that. So this year, the beginning of the year, I had this huge epiphany about it, and I went into my research on how it could be done right. That took me into my guides telling me, just go back to school. We'll take it from there. Like, just follow we called it the breadcrumbs, because our paths are not linear. So, the significance of breadcrumbs is you're just following the pieces. Something that excites you, a thought that you received. It doesn't have to be super grand or the super planned out thing, but just the practice of listening to that little nudge of come this way. And our guides, the spirit world, what you are besides this face, they're constantly directing us. They're constantly calling us to come the way of our own path. So I've made it a point this year to really make an effort to listen. So I didn't know what to expect going this route, but so I went in and attempted to do medical, thinking, okay, I gotta be a nurse first. I took my first class, my first medical terminology. And this airplane passes. One sec. Olympic medical terminology class. Oh, I hope that's not too loud. I started to read all the information, and part of who I am, or part of who I've become, because I think I am is just it. Everything that you describe after that, that's like constantly changing, because like I said, that's a constant. But one of the things that I'm really proud of about my journey is that I've unlearned a lot of the things that, in a sense, were an excuse to not believe in my power. So, this is just personal. But I personally believe that gym time, my alarm, I'm going to go on a run in a little bit. Yes, we move our body every day, especially. We'll have time for that in a little bit. Let's talk about this education thing and this journey that I'm on. I'll come back to why I've been just appreciating moving my body. And what I love about creating these these videos is that I feel like it's gonna hold me accountable to this new journey. Thank you for being here. I don't know if people are gonna watch 20-30 minutes of this, but you know what? I am. Earlier I recorded one and then I went back and actually rewatched it. Because at the end of the day, y'all, it's not for anybody else but ourselves. And I love listening to me talk. Okay. Medical terminology. It's a lot of information, y'all. A lot of diseases, sicknesses, and the verbiage that the medical field uses. Personally, no offense to my nurses and my doctors and the people out there helping, and assisting in the medical world. I'm not against it. But I do believe ignorance is a very beautiful thing. When you start to put this information into your brain, you make space for all this knowledge. Your own values, in a sense, are challenged. And I had to really sit with myself and ask, is what I'm learning aligning with what my guides want me to experience? And it wasn't. It didn't feel good to learn about stuff that I've declared untrue. Like I said, this is not to influence anybody to believe what I believe. It's just me sharing. Personally, I feel sicknesses and diseases are specifically our own body's way of communicating that it's time to go inward, that it's time to take care of yourself, that it's time to put your feelings priority, that it's time to take care of you. It's time to create that relationship with God. So I dropped the class. I was like, yeah, that can't be the only way I get into midwifing. So I started to kind of like play with what I could do now that I'm back in school. And one of the things I've been doing is growing my own mushrooms. And in the journey of growing my own mushrooms, I'm also a huge fan of psychedelics. And I am very curious on the formulas and I guess they're technically compounds, right? That create MDMA and LSD. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna be a nurse, and I can definitely still do midwifing if that's what I want, because there's other ways. A lot of actually doulas are certified through programs and not through the actual medical field, but that's for another day. So I am now so I changed my major from nursing in a matter of a month. Actually it took me like 2 weeks. I was like, these medical terms, I didn't want to put that into my brain. So mycology, with technically I'm mycology, but with a focus on mycology, which is the study of fungi. And in the process, so I have to take a few chemistry classes, I will see how far I can go in the sciences so that I can play in my own lab. Everyone says, girl, you're trying to break bad. You're trying to Breaking Bad. I've never watched that show, by the way, so I don't even know exactly what that means, but I think I know. And yes, I believe my journey is having fun through this experience, but also creating a bit of a bridge for a lot of people who don't see psychedelics as tools. And funny enough is, for the past few months I've been in a bit of a funk, but I haven't exactly. I've been more on the sober side than anything else. And but I am a huge advocate of microdosing. It's actually really helped heal my vision and really helped me create new neural pathways in my brain, which right now, talking about it, I'm like, damn, why have I not been microdosing? That would probably help a lot of the instability in my emotions lately. Maybe I'll give an update after doing it for a week so you guys can see. One of my clients, she's an optometrist, and she said, she told me not to experiment on myself, to keep doing school and then use other people to experiment on, which is kind of why I'm like, the doctor field, it's an interesting paradigm. But no, I would, because I believe in my product, I believe in plant medicine 100%. I am my first experiment. It's funny, I didn't think this video was going to be about this, but this is the point of me vlogging and just talking to myself, technically, because I'm just watching myself on this camera. But I want to put out what's in here and also express what's in my heart. On the last video, Ray called, and he would say he interrupted my flow, but truthfully he didn't. I like my little bangs, they're so cute. I just haven't showed them off. So part of being in this, I don't want to call it funk, I'm going to call it this transition period. It's been like a series of like feelings. I had created such a good momentum of like a flow of working out, a flow of which I've been working out all my life. That has always been pretty consistent, but recently I had a really, like, I was on this self-love journey again. I'm on it all the time, but it felt like a really strong momentum. And then some things happened that really humbled me. See, I've been in a relationship with Ray for as long as I've been on this journey of healing myself. And one of the things I don't think I was 100% aware of is how much pain I was projecting onto him, and even like the people closest to me. It's really easy to be really nice to strangers, to ravers, because you don't see them that often. But the people at your home, your immediate family, it should be easy to be nicest to them. Personally, I wasn't being that nice. And it's not easy to admit because people view me as such a light in their life. People view me as such a beautiful, soul, I've heard. But the reality is, there was a lot of turmoil that I was masking, that I was holding on to from childhood, from early adulthood, from just life. One of the things that I've been learning in these past few months is we all have these series of spices, experiences. I'm calling them spices. And we can either never cook with them again, or bring them all into the counter and see how delicious of a life or plate you can create. But we're all built and equipped amazing stuff in our pantry. We don't always see it that way. We probably carry it as shame sometimes, or some sort of judgment, or not even feeling like enough. But I'm practicing that everything I've experienced has been perfect, and it's brought me to these realizations, and I'm very grateful for Ray because he's been one of my biggest examples of unconditional love. Of even if I was not the nicest, he always treated me with the utmost respect. He always was easy to just love me through the process. And I'm not saying coddled me. I think loving someone, or the biggest form of love that you can share with someone, is stepping away when they're being hurtful, stepping away or even not responding when they're being disrespectful, giving a word of kindness and love, even if in that moment they don't really deserve it, or at least you don't think so. But the truth is, no matter what characteristics we are showing, there's a part of us, the spirit part, that sees the perfection in all of us. And lately, that is the vibe I'm trying to walk with. But before I can truly grant it for anyone else, which, like I said, it's been so easy to do that for everyone around me, it hadn't been that consistent for the people closest to me. I realized the projection was happening because I wasn't doing that for myself. I wasn't making sure I was choosing 100% for myself, doing things that felt 100% good to me. And also being aware that whatever I experienced, I had to 100% forgive and forget. So yeah, it's been a few months of really reflecting and really seeing my part in all my creations. Seeing my part in the life that I want to live. For a long time, I've been blaming choice of doing things that feel good simply because they feel good. That's Ray calling on the other line again. So, I'm 36 minutes in, and I hope me sharing some real shit, I'll listen back later to see exactly what I shared. But this is what this is gonna be. Me vlogging about my day, about things I'm experiencing, about this new journey, about my journey back to my childlike self, my innocence, the part of me that understands that there's a manager handling it all. That yeah, I want to take care of myself. I do. I want to take care of business. I want to create my life. But in order to do that, I gotta place myself first. I gotta do things for me first. And in the process, I don't know why, but I want to share it. Actually, I do know why. My guides. You guys will hear me say my guides a lot through these videos because I love dead people. And I love to talk to my guides. They just pointed me in the direction of being myself on camera, showing the world there's nothing wrong with being yourself. There's nothing wrong with where you are in life. We never get it done. It's constantly like, it's every day. And then, this is just a day of Lulu, but there's gonna be a point where my energy is gonna experience through a whole nother body. If you believe in that stuff, I do. So, this has been ASMR Tea with Lulu. Again, I don't know how much I shared because this was the second video I recorded. But take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Because unless you're hearing that you're perfect just the way you are, nothing else matters. Literally. Have grace on yourself. Have compassion on your journey. Like I said, it's never ending. Every day. And I'm writing it out with you. The best way that I can. It's the only way I know how. It's a little scary. It's a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. But I know that as I continue to do these things, the more comfortable I will become with the evolution of my journey. And let's see, what can I create as an ending for these ASMR videos? I wanna trying to think of something to say. We are enough. Always.